Alright, it's recording. I'll cut out the part of the sitting now.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see your ass.
Nope.
Don't squish Nemo.
Don't lose Nemo. Okay. Alright, now for our best and worst of the year. Starting with the worst, and you get to go first. Yes. But only your number 3.
Okay, number 3. Well, first off, I just want to say that finding the worst in this year was really hard because everything was awesome.
Well, not everything.
Almost everything was awesome. I mean, the big summer blockbusters were awesome. The end of the year stuff was awesome. Even most of the crap was awesome. Like John Carter was horrible, but I actually saw it and I kind of liked it. But anyway, enough talking. We'll just get to start. Number 3 is Rise of the Guardians.
You didn't like that one?
I didn't like it because, I don't know, it didn't leave very much of a big impression on me. That's what people say. But,
let's see. Can you give me
I want to be a writer, but I don't something.
Well, good thing most writers type their crap nowadays.
Yeah, thank God for spell check.
But yeah, Rise of the Guardians.
It wasn't bad, but
No, only one at a time.
Oh, okay.
You said number 3, so my number 3 is Man with the Iron Fist. That movie was god-awfully boring.
it did have some good action
Yeah, it has some
scenes
good
that-
parts in it, but the RZA is the most charismatic leading man I think I've ever seen ever, and oh my god, I just remember something that I had to put a beat on it.
Alright, so my number 3 was Spider-Man. I didn't hate it, but I don't think I liked it better than the first one.
No, it wasn't as good as the first one, Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire one, but I think it was better than the second Tobey Maguire one.
But the beginning story, and
You don't like another origin story?
No.
I love Spider-Man, but that movie was kind of
Yeah.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Anyway, okay, my number 3 was Man with the Iron Fist as well because it was boring. It was unforgivably boring, and the thing that made it worse was that the parts that were interesting were really, really fun to watch.
And then
more boring.
Yeah.
They were, I mean, you'd get really into it, and then they just like,
the RZA would show up.
pretty much. You'd show up and you'd be back asleep. Yep. And then somebody else would throw somebody through a wall and you'd be awake again.
And then David Bowie would walk into a room and you're like, alright, and then the RZA again.
Pretty much, that was the whole movie. Oh, hey, that's not it. What happened? Oh, hey, look at that, more blood.
Oh hey, the Master Crew's doing something cool.
Okay, number 2 for me was Pirates Band of Misfits.
Despite Martin Freeman?
Despite Martin Freeman, sadly. See, the thing is that this is also the year that I discovered Blackadder and what an awesome show it was. So I heard hearing from different people that it's going to be kind of like Blackadder. And the problem is that
The humor is similar.
the humor is similar.
But it's an argument thing, so it would be kind of like all the other argument things.
Yeah. I don't know, just to me a lot of the jokes seem to fall flat. I mean, it was probably made for an audience much younger than me. I'm sure a lot of people liked it. But I don't know.
It was also made for an audience much more British than you.
Yes, this is true. But see, I usually like British things, so I don't know. Maybe I don't like all British things. Maybe
Yeah,
it's just...
some of the incredibly British stuff is like, it's because it gets to a point where it's just cultural stuff that won't be good.
Well, because like it gets to the point where it's like there's witty and satirical, there's dry, and then there's so dry I need to call the waiter.
Where you're not sure if being serious?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
we're not commenting on this because we didn't see it.
They were
You're lucky.
off on their own, and we were
I mean, I
watching 21
enjoyed
Jump
it,
Street
too.
this time. And actually, you guys could have joined us. So
Yeah.
21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
That was a fun movie.
That was a fun movie.
Oh
Anyways, your number 2?
My number 2 is That's the End of the Street. That cameraman must have been drunk, and I could see why, because that was a god-awful movie, and he should have had a vagina. It was like wasted potential, the movie. Like, nothing we saw was like irredeemably bad. Everything had good things in it. And this one had a good premise, but an awful execution.
Okay, but we did get our favorite line of the year. Whenever we're asked where we're going, we do say we're gonna go do shrooms and have unprotected sex. That is from that movie. That is the only line I can ever remember from that movie, and that was probably the part. Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Fun Size. They didn't see it, I did. It was a cute little movie, but
The trailer made it look stupid.
trailer actually made it look better than it was.
Oh.
Like
And
honestly,
they made it look
the trailer showed the best parts of the movie, so
Oh,
I
trailer.
thought it was gonna be better.
I didn't even see a trailer for that movie.
I saw one of
The only part was
when
the
I was
little
underpants.
Spider-Man kid. He was adorable. He was the best part of that. He had a slushy habit. He had a nurse. That is just the best part ever.
My number 2 is Paranormal 4. Paranormal Activity 4. So it was an okay movie. It wasn't great. I mean, I liked the first one the best, but the problem with this one's the same problem I had with the other 2 movies on this list. It was boring. And
The characters were uncompelling.
And the reason it's worse than Man with the Iron Fist is because I could not sleep through that one at any point. Because every time I started to drift off, something interesting would happen. And then I think, oh, it's going somewhere. No, it's not going anywhere. But the ending is the only thing that keeps it number 2 and not number 1, because the ending is good.
Yes, we saw the experimental movie in which nothing happened for 2 hours. And there's a joke that you guys won't get because you haven't watched that.
Yes, yeah.
What's the movie? What?
Richard, number 1.
What's movie to you?
Spider-Man.
Richard gets it. He gets it.
Alright!
Spider-Man
Because it's... Okay, go ahead.
Okay, if we were doing wasn't pretty Spider-Man, probably be on here just because I was disappointed because I love Spider-Man and that movie was...
Disappointment does not make it bad.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it to me felt like it was way, because you know the Sam Raimi Spider-Man
It was
movies,
fun.
they were funny and stuff. Maybe it's just too much of a movie watch, but because they kept building this as the dark Spider-Man, as the gritty
This is a very
Spider-Man.
dark movie.
But Spider-Man cannot be dark and gritty. It's part of his character that he's on the ice cracking. Yeah.
Well, no,
Kind of a trait of Marvel characters everywhere. They're all smart and funny, and they
Just Captain America.
just shut up
Yeah,
right
right.
now.
Yeah,
Somebody
right.
has to be the adult in this little relationship
Hey, Bruce
here.
Banner was doing a good job being the adult.
we're gonna talk about Avengers later because
Yeah, let's leave off the Avengers. Let's put them on everybody's list.
Number 1.
Wait, were you done talking?
I'm done talking now.
Okay, number 1, Dark Knight Rises. That movie infuriated me. I've only ever seen one movie that made me madder than that movie, and it was not this movie, but it made me mad. The ending was a cop-out. I left the theater screaming. I was insulting Christopher Nolan. I was insulting the movie. I was pissed. I hated it.
This is very true. She was.
I hated
The
it.
parking lot was ringing.
That's one of the examples of a movie, of anything that was okay, enjoyable, and then you got to the ending, and the ending was so bad and made you so mad that you could not watch anything before it ever. I still haven't watched Dark Knight again, and I love that movie.
Sarah, your turn.
Alright, so I'm gonna start with. I have 2 for my number 1. It is House at the End of the Street. And then, plus, they did not say it, and I know this is gonna go on her list probably, it's with Twilight. That movie.
Oh my god, I
didn't
forgot
see
about
it.
Twilight.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
So House at the End of the Street, I'll talk about that one. That one just horrible.
Yeah.
The only reason it's number 1 is I couldn't stand it anymore. You should have had a vagina.
You should have.
It was the wasted potential.
Yeah.
Twilight, honestly, I'm just tired of that movie.
At least it's done.
No, it's not. They're gonna make a TV series.
Are you serious?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
No.
It's not starring Bella and Edward, but it's set in the Twilight universe.
And most of those characters, I don't know if any of you've seen Breaking Dawn Part 2, but apparently I haven't seen it, but apparently a lot of the characters are possibly going to be referenced.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be
That was just a horrible ending to that. Let's go with your number 1.
Mine's the same. House at the End of the Street, and I call bull crap on it because it had potential and it was wasted because they gave it to teenagers to edit or write or do something with it because it was a teenager's movie, but it wasn't for smart
There
teenagers.
could be,
It was
there
for
could be
stupid
movies
teenagers.
aimed, and this is why I actually take exception to her comment in the Rise of the Guardians video that it was great for a kids movie because kids movies should be held to the same standard as adult movies, and so should teenager movies. You shouldn't dumb it down just
It
because it's for
wasn't
kids.
dumbed
Kids are
down. I
stupid.
liked Rise of the Guardians. I
Yeah.
thought it was fun, and I'm not a kid.
You shouldn't. But you should not go easy on it just because.
I
it's
wasn't
for
going
kids.
easy on it because it was a guy, so it was good for a grown-up movie too. It wasn't great,
No.
but it was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, in Twilight, I hated every second of it.
I
Because
lost
it was
a piece of my soul. Twice. because I had to see
I
it
only had
twice.
to lose one piece, and
I lost 2 pieces.
Well, at least you didn't have to see him rip over the open uterus.
oh my
Oh
god.
yeah. That was rough.
Vampire Abortion, best metal band you could ever think of.
It wasn't an abortion, it was a C-section.
Vampire C-section, the best metal band name you can think of. See, I actually said it clearly that time.
Abortion sounded better than C-section.
It did.
It did
I
sound-
just needed to be pushing.
I know. Alright.
Alright, best movie! This was another hard list because so many of them were so good, and there's some on here that they're gonna say them, and I'm like, oh right, because they're so awesome. But yeah. So let's start with number 5.
Number 5 for me was Judge Dredd.
It wasn't called Judge Dredd though, it was just Dredd.
Just Dredd.
Yeah,
Dread was awesome.
Because
movie was
it's-
beautiful.
because-
Splat. Should have seen it in 3D.
I saw it in 3D, and it was awesome in 3D.
You suck, Richard,
Because you know
and
We made the worst mistake of our life by not seeing that movie in 3D.
Because here's the thing.
we kept saying we were going to, and we never did.
I wanted to see Cersei splatter in 3D. Was it glorious? Was it glorious?
It
was
was-
Cersei splatter glorious?
It
in
was
3D?
so glorious. Oh, and thank you for bringing up Lena Headey because she is really a step forward for female villains because she's not this stereotypical snide woman. She's not this stereotypical.
Pretty. She's pretty, but
she's
she
just-
uglied it up.
Oh yeah, they made her look. They made her look tore up for this movie. She is literally like every scene of hers. I was scared shitless
Yeah, she was a scary lady.
because I did not know because she's so unpredictable. That's the thing. You never know exactly what she's going to do. She has this little underling who she's torturing constantly. I felt so horrible. for
Yeah,
her.
I'm like, oh my god, I feel the bad touch.
But the best thing,
I need a little. I need a little.
the funny thing about it is that if I thought the whole ramping slow motion thing was going to get old. But
Never,
No,
they
it
never
didn't.
really overused it.
That's
They
because
did
they did it to show things that are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I hate everybody who did not see that movie because thanks to you, it did not make the money it wanted, so there will never be a Dread 2. Poor Carl Urban.
He was the best Dread ever because we never saw his face.
Yeah, just saw his face. We just got his lovely voice.
And there's so much action to it. What I love about the look of the movie is that it manages to strike this balance between showing an actual urban decay and showing a cyberpunk future.
And also that it was dark, but we could still see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually much better because I like the Stallone version just as a guilty pleasure, but it really does. The fact that it's Stallone is so distracting. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Because he takes his helmet off all the time.
And you can see his face.
And he's law!
No.
My number 5 is a tie between Sinister, which I know is going to be on one of these Christmas lists, so we'll talk about more of that later, and Argo.
I forgot.
Argo was good. Ben Affleck is an okay actor and an amazing director.
Yep.
His camera people were not drunk, and the camera stayed still where it was supposed to be still. And they seem to be doing this thing, but like sometimes they would do it, and then other times it seemed like they would not do it, where it would look like it had been filmed in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, it actually was the time period.
Yeah, and then other times it would look more high def, so it's like they weren't sure whether or not they really wanted to go that route, so they just kind of went back and forth.
Well,
but-
most of the high def shots were kind of Hollywood, so it kind of
Yeah.
worked, the glitz and the glamour.
Oh yeah, John Goodman. Because I never knew John Goodman was a good actor because I mostly remember him from stuff like Roseanne, but John Goodman is a good actor. He's funny.
Yeah.
He was in that movie with
He was in Monster Inc.
You guys might appreciate that.
He's solid.
with George Clooney.
You ever heard of Vietnam?
Oh, Weather Out Thou. I love that movie.
Oh no, I got even better. You remember Vietnam, Larry? Oh god. You're on a roll of pain, Larry. This is what happens, Larry.
He's in a lot of cool movies.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Okay.
Yeah, I
He's
didn't
big
think
of
of that.
That's the
So my number 5 is Sinister.
My number 5 is also Sinister, so we'll talk about it together.
Sinister, I love it. Honestly, they will probably agree with this. During the whole movie in Sinister, the first time we were watching it, I was actually
Yeah.
giggling.
throughout.
Because you know the thing is, it was a horror movie that was actually horrifying.
And like
Yes.
people were just screaming
The
and I
monster was
giggling
crazy.
and
It's scary.
The whole thing
I
was
was-
scary, and then you weren't sure what the motivations of the creepy kids. Are they just creepy kids?
Yeah, I
trying to
mean
be
it's
helpful?
kind of
Creepy kids just being
predictable.
creepy.
You can see all the big twists coming more or less, but the thing is that what
You can see
Sinister
it coming,
does.
but you still don't expect
And what
when
it
they
does
come.
masterfully, and what the first Paranormal Activity movies didn't want to be like those, that Paranormal Activity 4 failed at, was it had an amazing sense of atmosphere. It was very, like, he spends most of it in his house, so it was very claustrophobic.
okay,
And it's dark.
yeah, exactly. It was dark. We kept screaming at him to turn a light on. We
Yeah.
would see the light switch and we'd be like, it's right there.
Yeah, like, you
Just
know how
turn
bad
it
this
on.
lighting is? That's about how bad that lighting was.
Throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was awesome.
But it actually added to the atmosphere and really worked.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of horror movies. I mean, it's just like they don't scare me. I can always see what's happening. I mean, it's like there's no sense of unreality. It doesn't pull me out of where I'm at into the movie. But this was one of my favorite movies this year, and it was like horror.
And we actually had to drag her to this.
I went in prepared to hate every second of it, and I loved it. And we saw it twice.
We did.
Yeah.
So that was my number 5 as well. Because, you know, it was a horror movie that was horrifying, and the kids were creepy, and
It had a good sense of atmosphere.
We did.
and that girl chopped them up into little bits.
She did do
And
that.
poisoned his coffee.
And it had Ethan Hawke in it, which he's my pick to play Tycho Seltzer if there's ever a live action Race Squadron movie. Or X-Wing movie. Anything with any Star Wars movie with Tycho Seltzer, he should play it.
Virgin number 4.
Number 4 is Chronicle. And you know, all those people in Hollywood, you keep trying to make these found footage movies, you need to stop, because Chronicle was already, that genre has already done what it set out to do, and that was make the film Chronicle.
Yes.
Seriously.
Chronicle was good.
I was prepared for this to be a really stupid movie, but no, it was just amazing. Because here's the thing, it's about these kids. It's basically shot. The entire thing is shot basically from either handheld or unconventional cameras.
Yeah, but it's not treated like a found footage movie. That's the thing. It has credits and it comes with different cameras, even ones that the main characters don't use.
Yeah.
So it's not okay because it was also on my list.
Mine as well.
Okay.
It was not on mine.
Did you see it?
We did see it. I wasn't very impressed with it.
Yeah, it was good, and then
It was good. I'm not saying it wasn't good. It's just not top 5.
But it certainly answered the question, if you give powers to teenagers, what are they going to do with them?
Yeah, that's true.
they're gonna have fun with them unless they've got issues, and then they're gonna care to
Yeah.
live.
It
Yeah.
was essentially a retelling of Akira.
Yeah, basically it was. So you keep hearing things about the Akira movie, about a live action Akira movie that's not horrible, but don't worry about it because a live action Akira movie has been made and it's called Chronicle.
And it's not, keep in mind, it's not an Akira ripoff. It's not an Akira thing.
It's an homage.
It is an homage and a retelling of Akira.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so wonderful. And just one more thing. Because of the nature of these kids and the powers they have, sometimes the camera itself can be a character. Sometimes the actions, the camera angles that are used itself are telling stories.
Okay, but until you take it too far, like in Paranormal Activities,
Well,
when they
yeah.
took that too far, it was
'Cause
just
they would-
camera and
Yeah,
It's
but
like stick cameras all throughout the house, and you're like, well, what the hell's the point? Why don't you
Yeah.
just make it a real movie
Oh
then?
yeah, but
Yeah.
in Chronicle it doesn't feel that way. It
No,
feels
but I
like,
did like from Paranormal, the stuff they did with the Xbox and Paranormal 4 was pretty good.
oh yeah, that was cool with the Connect. I really want to try
it
that.
was good. Yeah,
it's pretty shaky.
the Chronicle's awesome.
It-
But it's on our list, so we'll be back to it.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, number 4 is a bad movie. It was an awful movie. It was not a well-made movie.
But it was
a fun movie. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
It was a fun.
I love
That
that
movie is the reason I haven't seen Lincoln, because I saw a movie with Abraham Lincoln this year,
And
and it
he
was
was a
awesome. I
vampire
don't need to
hunter.
see another one.
He did things with an axe I have never seen a man do with an axe, but I
And
would
we
love
will
to
just-
see.
he defied the laws of physics so many times,
I
and
know.
it did not make sense.
And we were laughing our ass off. And we weren't the only people in the theaters, but we were ripping on it loudly through the whole thing, and they didn't seem to mind.
How the hell did
I
that
think they were just joining in on our laughter, honestly.
Yeah, they were. It was.
How did they get that axe to work?
It's called CG.
It was not a real axe, and if it was a real
Well, I
axe,
know-
it was not built
I
to
know it's-
scale.
Maybe
I
they
know-
traded him in baton for one.
Well, I know how that. I know it's actually CG and everything, but how was it? Because it was a gun too. How the hell did they?
Yeah.
It's not something that's meant to be thought about. It's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
You don't go into that movie expecting historical accuracy.
Okay, but though it does bother me that they only had one child. They do not only have one child.
It was very thematically important for them to only have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
My number 4 was Cloud Atlas. I love that movie, but it confused the hell out of me. Just a little. It didn't. It wasn't
It's one of those
confusing. It
movies-
was just. It skipped around and then it all came together and then.
Yeah, when we saw the trailers, I was saying this is gonna be a Minecraft movie, and it was not a Minecraft movie. It is not something that's meant to be understood.
Yeah, I gave up on understanding.
It's an art piece.
Yeah, it was. I really liked it.
It is a postmodern version of Les Miserables, which is really
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Yeah, your number.
My number 4 was Chronicle, and one that we'll talk about later because I know it's somebody else's number 1.
Yeah, it is my number 1.
My number 4 is Chronicle, and another one that is on somebody else's list is number 1, and we'll talk about it later.
Wow.
Nice.
So Richard, who's number 3 for you?
One more day,
Les Mis.
so they got just
Les Mis. I was gonna say Les Mis is not on my list, but only because I've only seen it once. I think it should be on. It will probably be on here maybe later after I've seen it a couple more times. But I did enjoy it. It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
As people have been keep saying it, you know.
Russell Crowe can't sing. It makes me happy to make fun of Russell Crowe.
Okay, he can't.
He wasn't bad though.
Yeah, but every time he had a song, I was like, oh, you're trying so hard.
He did try hard.
I will say
he
this.
wasn't bad.
He wasn't as bad as Ham, the side of Ham.
I know, you jackhammer.
Okay, I will say this. As bad as his singing was, I did actually like to hear him say 24601.
Yeah.
24601.
No, it's not 246. It's like it's 24601. just every time he said it, like I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You'd like to say it again.
Yeah, but he should not have had songs on to himself. I mean, yeah, he was the main
He
character.
had the two that were
But-
only that he had to carry.
Yes, but poor Russell Crowe can't sing. And the funny thing about it is that he used to want to be a singer. He wanted to be a rockabilly
And
song.
of course, lest we forget, of course, my two favorite characters, and I don't even know their names. Whereas
Ebony's mom and Ebony's dad.
yeah, the grifters, I don't even know their names. I think it's like the Bernardes or something. But God, they just stole the show in that movie.
They did. They were
Every time they were
funny.
on there, they're like, ooh, what are they doing?
I
And
know.
so- and because I talk about this, every time I think of this movie, it's so funny because they have my favorite song, which is Master of the House, and everything else in this movie is so dark and heavy and depressing and
Well, even that
epic
song
and
about Ladies of
grand.
the Night wasn't that depressing.
What's about, again, it's a depressing subject. It's about her
Yeah.
falling into...
No, it wasn't. Well, yeah, her bits were depressing, but they were singing. It sounds so uplifting.
Well, yeah, but see, that's the thing about Master of the House is that there's really no darker side. I mean, it's death and stuff, but there's no darker side. It's just a very happy, joyous, happy song. And smack
It's not
dab.
really a happy song. It's kind of a
It's a
Screw you song.
yeah.
it's a very we're having a good time.
It's definitely a tone change.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a tone change. That's why I don't know. It's my favorite movie, and it doesn't fit on. And if you watch any clips of that song on YouTube, you'll notice that the entire audience is just singing along to it. And I'm just gonna say, there's nobody else singing along to One More Day. Like,
I didn't sing along to One More Day. I kind of wanted to sing along with Miss Anne Hathaway, though.
I did.
Yeah, she was great.
I
I think she was my favorite.
She's gonna win an Oscar for this role.
She better.
But Russell Crowe's not.
No.
He's not winning an
I
Oscar
think
this
if
year.
anybody in the cast is nominated, it's going to be Anne Hathaway, and she deserves it.
Oh yeah. Alright, my number 3 is another tie, but one of them we've already talked about. Pretty much that, which is Chronicle. And the other one is Seven Psychopaths.
Yes,
Because I love my dark comedy, and this one, it has some beautiful dark comedy. It does not, I mean, it's not of the exquisite, delectable darkness of a film with me in it, but it is some beautiful, wonderfully dark, even though Christopher Walken wasn't Christopher Walken enough for me, but in that film I love it. And Colin Farrell? Colin Farrell was in it, and he's good.
Where was this year or last year? Oh my god!
What was what?
Where's my year? I think I might have forgotten.
What's what?
American Horror. What is that?
That was last year.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Sorry. Alright, so we're gonna skip her. 'Cause
My
she-
mild panic attack.
my number 3 was Vampire Hunter. I love that movie. It was
It's fun. It's my favorite movie this summer.
it was horribly bad, but it was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
bad in all the best ways.
I wish we would have seen it again.
Yeah, I'll get it one. I think it's on DVD. One of us should buy it.
I don't. And then my second one, because I actually have a tie for this one, was Dread. Dread. It was beautifully pretty,
It was
and
gorgeous. We should see it in 3D.
we should have
And now it's no longer in theaters. We can never see it in 3D.
Boo.
buy it in 3D. Maybe we can buy it in
But
3D.
do you have a 3D TV?
We can buy 3D glasses.
You need a
But I have
3D
You
TV.
get 3D TV because that's
Oh my
how you make your money.
Alright, hey, our grandpa has a 3D TV. Let's stop off at his house with a copy of the movie and
Right?
say, hey,
Yes.
gonna share your 3D glasses.
Yeah, but it's just because he's only got one pair of glasses for 3D TV.
Those things cost $80 to $100.
That's the stupid.
Why don't you just steal some from the movie theater?
Yeah.
We have Hobbit ones.
No, they're electronic though. They're battery operated. You have to turn them on.
That's ridiculous.
I have
We
no
have our
idea.
Hobbit ones. It's
That's
fine.
ridiculous.
Fine, we got Hobbit.
Don't be ridiculous.
What's your number 3?
Oh, my number 3 is Cloud Atlas and Dread. I like Cloud Atlas better than Chronicle because I could follow it. Mostly. There were some parts that I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But most of the time, I mean, I like that they had the same characters. I mean, they used the same, 6 people?
Yeah.
Playing different aspects of the same
Yeah.
character. And then they would
a dress.
every time, yes.
You know, I used to love that movie. There it is. Hugo Weaving in a dress.
Oh my god, in drag, oh my god, that was awesome. But pretty much it's just like, they're the same, I mean, only every person took on a different role, but they were all the same role.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, kind of. I mean, in some of them, Tom Hanks is a bad guy, and then he was a good guy.
Right, that's what I mean, like, because he starts off in one's, like, the pulling teeth out of dead people's mouths creepy, and ends as the hero. You know, and then Hugo Weaving is the only one who really played the same person throughout.
He was
always
always
the
that
villain.
This objectivist scumbag.
I think
Yeah.
the only movie I've ever seen where Hugo Weaving wasn't the villain was
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. And I have seen bits of V, but I still think he counts as the villain in that because he kind of put up Evie and makes her.
I don't know, I like it.
That movie.
I never did.
V can be seen as a villain. He's the hero.
He's the anti-hero.
He is the hero of the piece, but he can be seen as a villain overall. But yeah.
Anyway, number 2.
Number 2. Well, I'm going to talk at length about this one because I know none of them have seen it.
You talked about like in our first video.
I didn't want to talk about Atlas because there's so much I want to say about it. And every time I try to talk about it, I can't really get anything. Number 2, of course, is The Master.
Of course.
The reason because, it was kind of panned by critics and it didn't really get that much of a theatrical release. I think also it may not be getting.
Critics are also kind of
No.
okay, critics suck.
Critics do suck. Anyway, The Master. Essentially, it's one of those movies where essentially it's 2 hours long and at parts it drags on. But here's the thing: every single moment where it drags, you can tell it's trying. It's doing this on purpose. So the entire premise of the movie, of course, is.
Why would it be doing it on purpose?
Well, because you'll see in a second. Basically, the premise of the film is sort of a naval officer or a naval man comes home from a seaman comes home from the war in the Pacific. He obviously has some mental problems. He's an alcoholic. He literally will drink whatever he can find, just mix it in the blender and just drink it. He struggles from job to job until he finds this mysterious group led by a charismatic leader called The Cause, which is actually Scientology, but that's another discussion. He slowly becomes sort of...
It's pretty important to the discussion of this movie.
Oh, it is, isn't it? And he slowly
We don't
becomes...
have an hour for that.
I could talk at length, but basically he becomes slowly like accepted into this group led by this charismatic individual. It's this person played of course by Philip Seymour Hoffman, who was wonderful. And basically the whole theme of the film is religion, is about being accepted, it's about the human soul. But I can't really say what it is about because the film doesn't necessarily take any kind of hard stance on anything. The theme, the issue about it is that it's really just sort of a series of images. I think it's trying to show. It's really trying to show the parts where it drags is really trying to show a sort of cult-like sort of brainwashing. It's images of a cult trying to break someone down, and the way they convey that is these long sequences where Joaquin Phoenix is essentially being constantly tested by the cause. What's actually happening is the cause is essentially breaking them down.
You good?
Okay, yeah, and I think, anyway, I don't want to give away a lot of it because this film is so complex, so just go ahead and watch it. Also, fair warning, it is rated R, and it does earn that in a lot of the scenes, so fair warning before anyone actually sees it.
Alright, Sam.
My number 2?
Yep.
Oh, we are at number 2, right?
Yeah.
Number 2! It's Planet Atlas. I love that movie. I do. I like long movies. As you'll also see by my number 1.
My number 2.
Yeah, a lot of the movies on my top 10 favorites list are like 3 hours long.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the movie's really pretty and the story tells. I mean, I was a big fan of the one in the 70s with Halle Berry.
Yeah,
Halle Berry as the
industrial espionage one.
Yeah, that one was kind of but it was and it had Ben Whishaw on it, who I think is going to be added to my list of actors that I'll go see a movie just because they're in it.
One who's in there in Mercury.
I don't think so.
One of them was
He was in Skyfall. He played Q.
Oh, Skyfall.
And yes,
We forgot about Skyfall.
Skyfall!
I didn't forget about Skyfall. I just didn't put it on my list.
I wasn't going to put it on my list. I have a different list.
Yeah, she's just making a list of all the movies.
And I can't put it at number 1 because I can't read from number 1.
Nobody can move their number 1. One is always number 1. Skyfall would have been, it wasn't a big movie, but it wasn't.
It wasn't number 1.
It wasn't top 5 for anybody.
It was really good.
It had an awesome opening sequence stuff.
Oh yeah.
The only one I've seen recently that's better than that is Tintin. Actually, I put them as they're evil. No, that was last year. I put them as being equal in terms of awesomeness. The opening sequences, but for very, very different reasons.
I can't believe you haven't seen any of them.
I haven't either.
I've seen Skyfall.
Yeah, I've seen Skyfall.
Yeah, but you gotta see at least a few.
I've seen Austin Powers. That's a parody of James Bond, isn't it?
It's not the same.
Oh, it's not the same. Bond is
iconic.
Bond is an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see him eventually. Sometime around it.
I'm probably gonna get smacked for my number 2, but my number 2 is actually Hobbit.
Your number 1 better be awesome.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? This person doesn't have it on his list.
Yeah, high five for me. I have it on my list. The only thing is with The Hobbit is I've never read any of the books, and plus I've never seen any of the Lord of the Rings, and I
She saw like Against Your Will.
Yeah, I saw they made me watch it, but honestly, I was playing on my phone and I was off at my own world. I heard some of this stuff. I will probably never watch Lord of the Rings. So Highway and Hobbit was awesome, and they'll talk about it. I know.
Bloodline.
Forever.
Eventually, somebody's gonna have to go over to the camera because we'll run out of time.
Oh, it'll turn itself off for 2 hours.
Actually, I think we have almost 4 hours of tape on there, but that includes the 17 minutes that we did in the last episode. We have enough time to discuss it.
Alright, yeah, anyways, alright, so Hobbit was my number 2.
Mine was Les Mis, which we've discussed. Yes.
It is recording. I pushed the record button. Oh, wait, before we talk about it.
Oh, we forgot.
We forgot Life of Pi.
Everybody forgot Life of Pi.
It was a good.
It's a movie
speaking of
that-
a movie about religion that has something to say about religion. This is a movie that has something to say about religion.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
I do have to interject. They saw it without me, so and I never went to go see it.
Well, you could have seen it. But you ditched us.
I did not ditch them. They were like, "Oh, we're not gonna go to the movies," and Sam didn't want to watch it again, and then
I wanted to watch it again. She didn't
I
want to.
didn't want to watch
yeah,
it
she
again.
didn't want to watch it again, and then I didn't think they were gonna go.
Yeah,
So
I fell
left.
asleep
I went
halfway through the
home.
second time. The second time.
No, I have not seen Life of Pi.
The thing about it is that it actually talks about belief in God. It actually talks about.
It's not talking about belief in God.
It's talking about
faith.
faith in general. And
And then having faith is a trial, is a test, and it is the difficult, and maintaining faith, and doesn't have it actually has very little to say about religion
and
itself. It's all
also,
about
it's
your own
basic.
faith.
And also, the
Which is actually
biggest
nice.
message
Yeah.
it seems to have is that yes, the stories in the Bible are far-fetched, but would you prefer to listen to the far-fetched story or the actual story? Most people would prefer far-fetched, the fantastical version, which is the one that people remember. And also, there's one thing that's funny. And parents, just because a movie is rated PG does not make it a children's movie. There were children in the audience when we went to see Life of Pi. They did not enjoy it.
I cannot imagine why. I mean, besides the fact that, you know, there's a big storm and the animals all die.
And the tiger is scary.
There's a lot of time there where there's not much going on,
And
but
there's
him slowly
It's a movie.
dying.
There's nothing in there that's bad for kids. That's why it was rated PG. But it is a movie that children will not appreciate because it's very visual, very introspective, and the message is one that is direct. I mean, a lot of Pixar movies have messages that are more for people, parents, than kids. But this is one that only adults would even really.
Maybe not
Yeah.
adults, don't think.
Yeah, not adults. I mean, I guess it's become required reading in middle school.
Well, yeah, I think middle schoolers would get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elementary kids, school kids, I mean, unless they're mature, they're gonna look at this movie and they're gonna say, I'm done.
Yeah,
Let's go
but
Disney now.
the thing is that the kids, they're probably there because the parents saw Boy and Tiger in a boat and figured it was like a Disney movie.
And none that Disney movie.
And it's not a Disney movie, it's like a deconstruction of that kind of movie.
It's the complete polar opposite. of
Yes.
Yes.
It's a deconstruction of the Buenos Aires.
Yes.
But it does get special mention because it was a very good movie. But
Yeah.
it would have been on the list if you remember.
Not on mine. 'Cause I didn't.
Alright, mine, it's not a fancy movie, it's not an elegant or cerebral film, it's just a damn good film with damn good effects, damn good acting, damn good writing,
And it is not The Hobbit.
and it is not The Hobbit. It is The Avengers. God, I mean,
Avengers is on the
so many times, you know, when you release a comic book film or a superhero film, you often have times where people will just argue and nitpick. There's nothing to nitpick in this because it's just a damn movie.
So I could nitpick something. The
Yeah.
one-liner's not good.
Well, just a couple of them, and you're like, what? Where did
Yeah,
that come
the
from?
one-liner particularly.
It's just
The
the
more I
one-liner.
see it, the less I like the dialogue. But there's one in particular I did not like it the first time I saw it. And it's delivered by Iron Man, sadly. And it's like, do you have a plan of attack? I have a plan.
We should
Attack.
have a plan of attack.
Yes. But that's not the part that bothers me. I have a plan. Attack. It's like, oh god.
Then you are not.
You're
supposed to be a genius.
They turned Hawkeye into their winged monkeys. Now what are we gonna do? I got that!
I love that one.
That's my
I like the part when Iron Man pays, who is it?
I liked all the stuff with Robert Downey Jr. and Bruce Banner.
Oh yeah, that is an epic romance.
I want Bruce Banner to be in the new Iron Man movie.
I don't know, they would be like the perfect. Bruce Banner is the perfect straight man.
Yeah.
Or at least, no. Let me rephrase. Let me qualify that. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner is the perfect straight man.
Yes.
If you're gonna make a Hulk movie, do not cast anybody else but Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
And he was my brother. He's killed 87 people in 2 days. He's a doctor?
That was awesome.
That movie has.
I think Joss Whedon is a Thor fan because he gets all the coolest scenes in the movie.
And
he gets the best entrance.
He gets the best fighting moves.
He gets a lot of the best lines.
Was it me or was Thor actually cooler in this than he was in his own movie?
Yes! I didn't really like his own movie.
Because his own movie,
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it.
Like 70%, 80% of the film, he doesn't even do anything. He's just this
He's
guy.
just there and awesome.
He's just a guy wandering around.
And then Thor, yeah.
Being Thor. Like,
Well, you know what? I think that Thor would have been better if they focused more on the relationship between him and his brother.
Yes.
yeah.
And if they didn't have those three random guys who we don't even remember their names.
It's set in the Warriors 3. It's,
And if Natalie Portman hadn't stolen my pen, I want that back.
I do like the part though when the Hulk and like Thor take down like something and like together.
Oh, that big old one shot.
Yeah.
Okay, that one shot. I love that one shot, but they cut it too soon. They should not have cut it until after this, but they cut it before, and that was fucked up.
Yeah. So Hulk like is standing there with Thor, and then all of a sudden you just see BAM!
Yeah.
Hulk, and then Thor goes
And that
flying.
should have been the end of that awesome one shot, but it wasn't. You know the big long take before it where they're following all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big.
And then it cuts, and then you get back to Hulk and Thor, and he punches them across the room, but that's where it should have cut. That's where it should have cut, but it cut earlier, when they were going around the building.
The big damn heroes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really a big day.
I'm gonna have to watch this movie for the 5th time.
Yeah, we're gonna see it again. 6th time. You thought it was Grandpa's house.
2, 3.
So, 4 times the theater.
4 times the
What's the
theater.
Grandpa's?
Yeah, we love this movie.
It was awesome. It's on.
Any more comments on Avengers?
Oh, I have to do the one.
Oh, Kian's got it. We'll get back to it.
I have two though.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Well, then let's continue.
Yeah!
No, well, Sam's next.
Okay, it seems like the same 2 movies are on all 3 of our number 1 spots. So if Avengers is on your list, number 1 on your list, raise your hand. If The Hobbit is number 1 on your list, raise your hand. Okay, so let's talk about Avengers and then we'll talk about The Hobbit.
I do have another number 1 though, so we will talk about Hobbit.
Okay.
Alright, so let's talk. Okay. Hobbit, Avengers. 2 perfect examples of movies made for fans.
By fans.
By fans that are perfect for fans.
Yes.
You know, and people keep saying The Hobbit was too long. The
Hobbit?
Oh my God, it is long.
It was.
I thought it was gonna go on longer. I mean,
When his wasn't even that long.
they think it's really
Thank you, Sue.
I love Clover. I don't have my book like that yet.
Anyway, we're talking about the movie, not the hot jewels. We're talking about other things.
I'm trying to think of what else there is to be said.
We're talking about
Avengers or The Hobbit?
The Hobbit. We talked about the 3D, so talk about something other.
Okay. Thor is less of an asshole in the movies, and I love it. I hate him in the books because he's a fucking asshole, but I like him in the movies. I like Thor. And that makes me happy.
I like all of the dwarves in the movie. Because they're all awesome, and you can distinguish one from the other. I can tell them all apart.
My arm broke her tractor. I don't know where it came from. Someone said it broke.
Yeah, you can. If there's a wide shot and you were looking at them, you would be able to tell which dwarf was which.
Yeah.
They're all different. None of them look. Not even the brothers look the same.
Bomber does not say a single word.
Except for the fact when there's one scene where they're all running and Gandalf's like, dopey, sleazy, bashful. He can't even try to name him.
You know,
I love watching him count because he's just like a mom. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4,
No, you know
5.
what it is?
Okay, we're all here.
Yeah, he started off in the beginning trying to name them off, and then he just like, forget this. I'm gonna count.
Oh, Billy and Killy don't look like each other, but Killy does look like a young Thor.
He's supposed to.
And they're even dressed kind of similar, except that Killy's vest is different.
Okay, so the reason this wasn't on my list, I should probably.
Yeah, you should probably explain.
Okay, this film was awesome. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. The interpretation of The Hobbit was good. This is the kind of film that would have had Tom Bombadil in it. It's so.
Tom Bombadil is annoying and nobody likes him.
No, he doesn't. No one.
They replaced him with Dr. McCoy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And he's awesome, yes.
And everybody likes him. Well, that's not true, but everybody should like him because he's awesome.
Okay, now as I'm saying, this is all well and good. The only reason it's not on my list is because I didn't think it was necessarily the best example of film craft of the year.
No, but it was the best example of fan film craft.
Yeah, it was Fangasm.
It was better. Phantasm-wise, it was better than the Avengers.
What?
I loved the Avengers. It was a perfect superhero comic book adaptation movie. It was beautiful.
The other comment about Avengers, you do have to watch it all the way through to the credits because
at the end of the so there's a stinger and then there's credits and you got to stay awake during the credits because at the end there's the greatest stinger ever.
I love that.
Don't spoil it. We'll spoil everything else, but not that.
Oh my god, I just love that scene.
Unless you live
watch
in the
it
UK.
over and over and
Unless
over.
you live in the UK, then you don't get it because that's what you get for being in communism.
Okay,
And getting to see the Hobbit.
the thing about the Hobbit though is that like there were good parts in it, but a lot of it felt like. I know this is gonna sound. I'm just gonna sound really stupid. Like I'm just sort of like. That's not really stupid from my end because again I did not read. I read the Lord of the Rings novels. I didn't read the Hobbit. I didn't read the Hobbit.
I've read the Hobbit.
But I don't know. It just felt like they were just like revisiting old parts of Middle Earth from the first three movies,
They
which I know
only
is.
revisited two parts.
Well, the thing on Weathertalk was definitely, it was not in the books. It was an add-on.
Yeah.
But to try and further the whole
But you see, the thing is that it makes,
story.
it makes sense.
But it does make sense then for him to be
Because
there.
you see, the thing is that Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, they do actually take pretty much the same course until they get past the Misty Mountains. Once they get past the Misty Mountains, the Fellowship heads south, and the others continue north to the Lonely Mountain.
Yeah, after the Misty Mountains, Bilbo and his company are going to go north to the Lonely Mountain. Frodo and his whole clan gang
Because
goes
you see,
down
part
south.
of the reason that they revisit so many is because they start in the same place,
And they take the same journey.
pretty much.
Because that's the only way to get from one point A. It's just like if we were going on a trip from here to the other side of the country. We would start out on the same freeway, but at some point when you are heading north to New York and we're heading south to Florida, we're going to split.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you see,
I've since one more thing. I have since found out that one scene in Rivendell where Gandalf, Galadriel,
The White Council.
the White Council, where did that happen in the book?
no, but
it
it didn't happen. It was happening concurrently with the book.
It's part of the appendices. It's
Part of the third.
That's part of the way that Jackson's padding it and trying to flesh out the story is
Because
to
he's a
bring in
big nerd.
Oh my god, yeah. He's trying to bring context to what's going on and trying to link it better to
And
Lord of the
because
Rings.
otherwise it would be so totally different from the Lord of the Rings movies. Because it's really more of a movie. It's really for fans of Tolkien, but it's also more a movie for fans of the other movies.
Yes.
And fans of Tolkien will come in. If he kept it as a straight up adaptation, they'd expect the tone changes and they would be surprised. But people who have never read The Hobbit will not know about the tone changes, and they will come and they'll see this straight kiss movie and they'll be like, "What the hell is this? Where's all the epic fight scenes? What's all the epic? What the hell is going on?" They'd be disappointed.
But see, I have never read The Hobbit. I have never read Lord of the Rings. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I wasn't lost.
Yeah.
I was.
No, I'm not saying that they get lost, but I'm
understood
saying that they would miss the epicness of Lord of the Rings.
Also, I didn't.
They were all hyped up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I didn't so much mind the.
Well, you're all hyped up for Mama. Hey, it's a movie.
oh my god, Mama! Mama! I can't wait until fucking Mama comes out.
I didn't so much hate the tone changes though. Because I actually did the scene at the beginning where they're all having dinner, the scenes with Radagast. Because I kind of know.
But the tone doesn't really change until after they fall into the goblin.
Yeah.
Which I love. That was my favorite scene.
They should have made that. That should have been a long shot.
We're gonna go on forever about this.
We are.
We need to change this up.
No, there was something I was gonna say.
I love the fact that the goblins get their own song.
It's a very short song.
It's a very short song, but I still love it. It's probably one of my favorite songs. And it fits so well.
Oh yes, there was that one thing.
You guys don't even know.
No, we don't. But there was one thing I don't like about The Hobbit. I do not like Azog. I do not think he's necessary. I don't think he should be there. I don't think he needed to be added. He doesn't add anything to the story. He's just cliched and annoying and should not be.
Well, I'd like to call him the random villain from a D&D campaign.
Yes.
The
Random War of a Hammer villain.
That the dungeon master basically threw in because he wants to try to give the
Yeah,
party
he's
some
not
overarching
necessary. He
villain.
doesn't need to be there.
Despite the-
Smog is good enough. We don't need this guy who was already dead at the time to be brought back to life for the movie and chase them around. It doesn't add anything.
adds tension.
No, it
It
doesn't.
builds.
There's plenty of tension. Do you have all these freaking...
Well, there's tension for people who have read the book and understand what's going on in the subtext of it, but there's anybody who hasn't read the book doesn't understand the subtext.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't seen, you don't understand why it's important, how the orcs being this far south is an indication of danger. They don't understand why it's so creepy that the necromancer's about, and because, I mean,
But you see that if they hadn't had Azov, and the orcs that attacked them on their way to Rivendell had just been a random band of orcs, it would have actually been more meaningful.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the reason that Azog is there is to kind of
Just
link
to
the
link
dwarves to Moria.
Yeah. And to link all because otherwise, because basically the book is just a random series of barely connected events, and it's just kind of a way to like link the barely connected events.
Kind of.
So really,
Anyway, I don't mind Azog.
I wouldn't mind Azog's presence if he was an interesting character, but he's not.
Well, he doesn't have to be. He's there for one purpose.
He should be an interesting character.
To be the D&D campaign.
He's one-dimensional. He's only out there.
He should be an interesting
I do
character.
like his beast though.
Yeah, his white water.
His warg is an interesting
I
character.
do want more.
The other orcs are the goblins. Every orc and every goblin is more interesting in this movie, except for him. He could have been like Grishnákh. Grishnákh was a one-dimensional villain, and he was still interesting. But Azog is not interesting. He's boring. He's annoying, and nobody cares. Well, I don't care.
You're the only one who doesn't care.
But other than that, I love everything else about that movie. We get to see it again. Well, Keanu and I. Yeah, next week we're gonna see Safety All right.
Agreed to this.
You see it. Mama doesn't come out next week. I don't think.
Yeah. I want to see one.
All right, let's talk about your other number one.
My other number one was Looper. We actually had discussions about this.
I came up with a theory that made it make sense, and she had to poke holes in it.
Holes. And then she came up with another one. Holes.
There's no way to make it make sense.
I think it's the kind you're not supposed to make it make sense.
Because once you make sense of it,
It's like that's what the whole discussion in the diner was about when they were talking about making diagrams out of straws. It's like you're not supposed to try and work out the logistics of the time travel.
Okay, so
You're supposed to sit back and watch the movie and enjoy it.
It's the dance of theme stating. You basically the theme is the old wiser self versus the sins of his past.
No, because
the wiser self has the sins of his past. He doesn't need to confront them because we haven't sinned yet.
yeah, but
So if you haven't seen Looper, what happens is Bruce Willis is sent back to his past self,
And his past self
can kill him.
who was played by
Joseph
Gordon.
But
Can kill him,
Well, no,
and then Joseph can go on and live his life after he kills himself. And then when he grows up into the older Bruce Willis, he tries to
he escapes.
Yeah, he escapes, and then
Joe has to track him down.
has to try and track him down, or they have to kill him when he's young, and it's just this big long epic story,
Well, 'cause
which is awesome.
well, one thing you need to understand though, it's set in a sci-fi universe. There's special assassins.
I think they would have got that from the fact that there's time travel.
Well, no, because it has to be stated as part of the plot. It's a very
It is very
It's a key element of the setting. The setting is not necessarily part of the plot.
Yeah, I mean, it
The
doesn't
setting
really
supports
inform
the plot, but it isn't the plot.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
But,
so,
you know, the
anyway.
whole, the conundrum of Joe versus young Joe versus old Joe is kind of the conundrum of kill the kid or don't kill the kid.
Yeah,
okay,
it brings up.
Would you go back in time and kill baby Hitler?
That's something that they brought up, but they didn't explore it. They should have explored it more, but they didn't.
So what they're talking about is because when old Joe is sent to the younger one, or Bruce Willis is sent back to the younger one, he escapes and he tries to kill a boy named Rainmaker when he was young. A boy, yeah, Sid. And then when he's gonna grow up to be a Rainmaker,
He's a bad man.
He's
Yeah.
this mob boss who goes and kills all the old loopers.
yeah, and then.
You need to go see the movie.
It's really kind of hard to explain.
It's kind of thing you gotta see it to get it.
Yeah. But I love that movie. It was awesome.
was.
I could still talk about it for hours.
You probably have seen it.
Yeah.
And then my other compliment was
Avengers.
Was probably the best done film as far as crap goes.
No, that would be Argo.
So
Well,
what
Argo, I
movies,
keep forgetting.
since we're ending the year, what movies are we looking forward to next?
Mama.
Great Gatsby.
God, Hobbit 2.
Hobbit 2.
Good, yeah.
Star Trek.
Star Trek! That does have Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'm gonna go see it just so that you can guys hear the opinion, the viewpoint of somebody who's coming into this film having not seen the other film and having not given two craps about Star Trek ever in their life.
I'm just only I'm only upset that it's not going to be good. And yes, I know the Borg on the next
The
generation.
Borg are not part of the original series.
Yes, I just said that, but I'm just saying that they could have worked with Borg.
We get Khan instead, but they're not going to call him Khan because Khan is already a trademark.
If they were going to be doing a remake of Wrath of Khan,
That's what I'm saying. They're not doing a remake of Wrath of Khan. They're taking the Khan character. They're casting him in the form of Benedict Cumberbatch and reinterpreting him, and they're going to give him a different name because he's not Ricardo Montalban.
I'm also looking forward to the next series of Sherlock and those kind of movies because they're each an hour and a half long.
And they started filming the spring because they lied and they said it was in January, but it's not January. Unless Mr. Freeman is
No,
alive.
he said March.
He said March.
Yeah.
Filming in March.
Apparently they've started pre-production on it.
Oh,
Oh.
I am most looking forward to Pacific Rim.
Oh, yes!
Robots versus aliens.
Here's the thing. Pacific Rim, to me, it's what the 98 Godzilla film should have been.
Well, you don't know that yet because you haven't seen it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Wait, what was that one? That was in the commercial with Johnny Depp.
Oh, the
Lone
Ranger!
The Ranger.
I see that.
I do want to see that. That one looks pretty cool.
Iron Man 2 comes out, or not 2,
Iron Man 3.
3 comes out.
Iron Man
next year.
3.
I have mixed feelings. Mixed feelings. I love Iron Man.
I've seen the other two in theaters. I want to see.
I'm gonna see it in theater.
We're gonna see it. I have mixed feelings.
But I was
Going
unsure
with
about
it.
Avengers, and I was happily.
They killed off Agent.
He could not kill
Agent
dead.
Coulson, he's
Agent
not dead.
Coulson.
Joss Whedon promised.
Yeah, no,
And he is a man who keeps his word.
and he also said that he's and it's also been announced that he's going to be.
He's in the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think Coulson will return.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought they were.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's what that's what. Yeah.
It's gonna be horrible. But I'm gonna watch it anyway. Because it's got Agent Coulson in it. Everybody loves Clark Gregg.
I haven't
Send
seen.
him all the love.
Give him more roles.
He should be everywhere. He's like,
Give him all
Will
of the
Arnett.
roles.
He's got Will
And give
Arnett.
Beaufort all of the screen time. Make the Bilbo or Beaufort show after the Hobbit movies have ended. And since every episode, Beaufort shows up at Bilbo's house and drags him off on an adventure, and makes fun and makes incredibly dark comics the entire. Until by the end of the episode, Bilbo just says, "You know what? Screw you!" Or something.
Just start it over again.
Or he'll just do what he did after the dinner party and say, nope, and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Nope.
Bilbo and Beaufort show. I would watch that. I would watch it twice.
Like, seriously, intense agony.
No, it's that's right. Sitting pain and poof. That's more than kind of rush.
I'm looking forward to season 3 of The Borgias, which I don't know when I said that because it's not a film and nor is any
I have no idea what that is.
It's a show on the HBO about budget and film average.
But that's about a bunch of horrible people who are trying to make it look like good people despite the fact.
Everybody keeps telling me American Horror Stories is good. I haven't seen it.
That was it. Yeah, I kind of want to see that. I keep showing it in the theater.
Why are we talking about TV shows now? We're talking
I
about.
don't know, Richard started it.
Okay, so
No,
Actually, I started by mentioning Sherlock, but I also clarified Sherlock
It's an hour and a half.
is an hour and a half, so they technically
well,
count.
it's an extended cable series, so every season is pretty much like a movie because they had its own plot arc. But
Of many hours long in this movie.
Houses or Hounds of Bath and the Bastards does not have any influence on the overarching plot. They went out to the country and then they returned.
And it was fun. That's actually my favorite episode of the whole series.
It was fun.
It's
I love seeing.
even though Russell Tovey annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, but what's his name?
Speaking of Russell Tovey, Ace Turner.
The Strahd was very tan.
And he's the only good part about being human. And it's nice to see him in something where he's not the only good thing in it. He's got a lot of good things.
Yeah, he's not even one of the.
He's not even the top 10.
Oh, sure.
I mean, he's great as Kitty. And he's fun. And he's pretty.
My biggest nitpick about The Hobbit is still that the elves look younger than Gandalf and Bilbo.
They look younger than them. They're ageless.
That's the point. They should look the same. Only 60 years have passed. They should look the same. Gandalf should look younger. Frodo should look younger in this movie than he did
The movies
in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but the movies were made 10 years later.
That's not the point.
But what she's saying is they should have made him look younger.
Well,
They had
makeup can only do so much. Peter King is not a magician.
He made the elves look younger. Why couldn't he make the hobbits younger?
The elves are creepy people. They're creepy androgynous people.
They're killing babies and using the blood.
Yeah.
Leaf eaters.
They look
Those
crazy
damn
people.
leaf eaters.
Leaf eating.
Yeah.
What is this?
Where's the meat?
I don't like green food.
Apparently, in the background, I don't know, I haven't checked, but William Kirchner said that in that scene that he asked Peter if he could just be eating flowers off the table. Because apparently Bifford's a vegetarian. Who knew? Who knew? Well, he is crazy. He's got a big axe in his head.
My favorite line is, I think my favorite scene is still going to be in the White Council when Gandalf's listening to Galadriel and then they fade back into Saruman talking and you can hear him say, it's like I'm talking.
My favorite part is the trolling song.
Yeah.
My favorite song was the guy.
No, my favorite part of the scene is that one where Beaufort, just to see, because he just starts describing in lethal detail in relation to the Great Dragon, just because he wants to see Bilbo faint.
And you succeed!
It was.
Success! Woo! And he was so happy.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He was so pleased with himself.
I have done it. Oh, sorry, where's king? Where's my king? Praise me!
Praise me, yes.
No, because he is the pooper of the party.
Yeah, but I'm fighting you.
Why we invited you?
Alright, so I think that's it. I think we have gotten way off topic, meaning we are done.
We are done.
So that's it from us for this year. We will see you next year with Django Unchained, which is a movie released this year. Oh, well.
Continuity is for suckers.